welcome to Sathi Prasamit's English course for pre-intermediate learners. Today we are going to listen to a conversation between two new roommates. Their names are Larry and Adam. They are meeting for the first time and getting to know each other a bit. Let's listen.
Hi, you must be Adam. I can tell from your picture. I'm Larry. Finally we meet. So we're going to be roomies this year.
Yes, I recognize you from your photo too. I'm so glad to meet you in person. And I see from your shirt that you like baseball. I'm a big fan too.
Well, the shirt was a going-away present from my brother, who's a baseball player. Look on the back. It has a picture of all the players on his team. They actually won the city championship last year.
That's awesome. I tell you, I'm not very athletic, but I love to watch baseball, even if it's a little league game. You could say I'm an expert spectator. What about you? Do you play any sport?
Yes, I play basketball. As a matter of fact, I have a scholarship, and I'm going to play for the university. Now tell me, what else do you like to do?
Well, what I like to do most is play music. I play guitar in a band.
Cool. We have a lot in common. I like music too. Think you'll be up for checking out the local clubs this weekend?
Oh yeah, and the restaurants too. Speaking of which, are you hungry? I'd love to grab a bite soon. I'm starving.
Are you kidding me? I'm always up for going out. How about trying the restaurant next to the university? I'm kind of hungry for some pasta.
What do you think of our room?
To be honest with you, I really can't stand that dark color on the walls. It's like really depressing. I prefer light colors. Plus, I'd like to change the mattress and the pillows. Do you like them?
No, I agree with you. They're horrible. With some new paint and a few small changes, we'll make this room comfortable and cozy. Everyone will want to hang out here.
Man, I'm so relieved. I think we're really going to get along. I'm going to call my dad right now and tell him how cool my new roomie is.
Like has a number of different meanings and uses. What do you like asks what things a person finds pleasing. For example, what kind of ice cream do you like? I like chocolate ice cream. What do you like to do asks what activities a person enjoys. For example, what do you like to do on weekends? I like to relax and go out with friends. Would you like is a polite way of asking what someone wants. For example, what would you like for your birthday? I would like a big party. The expression I'm, she's, he's, etc. like is often inserted into a conversation to emphasize what someone is currently feeling or thinking. This is especially common among young people. For example, I'm like really mad at him, or it's like the worst book I've ever read. Love, when it refers to a person or people, indicates deep affection. When love begins, we have a feeling of great excitement. This is called being in love. For example, her husband loves her, but she is no longer in love with him. However, when love refers to a thing, it indicates a thing or an activity that a person finds very pleasing. For example, do you like ice cream? Yes, I love it. Or, would you like to dance? I'd love to. What do you think of is a way of asking someone's opinion of something. For example, what do you think of the new director? He's strict, but I think he's got a lot of experience. The question, are you kidding me, is a rhetorical question that indicates that something is so true, untrue, or to express or show emotion or thoughts, but doesn't need to be answered. For example, do you like to dance? Are you kidding me? I'd rather dance than eat. Or, would you like to go shopping? Are you kidding me? I have to study. To be up for something simply means to want to do it. For example, are you up for going to a restaurant with us? I'm not really up for doing anything tonight. The expression stand means to tolerate or to accept something. However, we usually use the negative form that has the opposite meaning. For example, he says he can't stand his little sister, but we know it's not true. To be or to not be a fan or big fan indicates that someone does or does not like something. For example, I like movies, but I'm not a big fan of science fiction. A going away present is a gift normally given to someone who is leaving for an extended period, perhaps to go to college, to move to another area, or to work in another place. For example, they gave me a picture of everyone in the office as a going away present when I left for my new job. Tell is used in a number of expressions. It is followed by an object pronoun. For example, me, you, us, them, him, her. The name of a person or a word that refers to a person or people, friends, parents, etc. After tell me, the subject-verb order of a question using the verb be is reversed. Here are some examples. Who is she? Becomes tell me who she is. Or what are you doing? Becomes tell me what you are doing. With all other verbs, the do or does is dropped and the verb is conjugated normally. For example, what do you do? Tell me what you do. Or when does he get in? Tell me when he gets in. Don't tell me indicates that you fear a certain answer. For example, don't tell me you're sick. I tell you indicates that you really mean what you're going to say. For example, I tell you that test was really difficult. Tell is also used with the word truth, with or without an object pronoun. For example, he always tells the truth, or he always tells me the truth. Can tell indicates the ability to know something without being told. It is followed by a new clause with a subject and verb. For example, I can tell you that you had a good day by that smile on your face. Or, can you tell I've been crying? The expression you could or might say indicates a suggested conclusion. For example, you could say she's in love, or you might say that fast food is unhealthy. Speaking of which is an expression that indicates that someone mentioned reminds one of other information about it. For example, I applied to Thammasat University. Speaking of which, did you know Jack is going there? Finally indicates relief that something long awaited has happened. It goes after a conjugated verb. For example, I've been looking for my phone all day and I finally found it. The expression at last has the same meaning as finally, which goes at the beginning or end of the clause. For example, at last I found it, or I found it at last. So has many different uses. In the conversation, it introduces information that both people already know. For example, so this is your new car. Will you take me for a ride? Actually, and as a matter of fact, often have the same function. They have many different uses. In the example conversation, they indicate that a fact is a little surprising, but of interest to the other person. For example, so you're a French teacher. I actually studied French in college. Even if can introduce a fact that seems a little hard to believe. For example, I'm going to finish this project even if I have to work on it all night. The phrase "to be honest with you" introduces a statement that you think a person might not want to hear. For example, thank you for inviting me to the movies, but to be honest with you, I'm not really a big fan of romantic movies. Man introduces something that the speaker feels strongly about. It can be said to or by a male or female. For example, "Man, this course is really hard." Get along with someone means to live, work, or play with someone without problems or arguments. For example, "He's very easygoing. He gets along with everybody." Or, "Tom and his brother don't get along. They're always fighting." To grab a bite or grab a bite to eat means to get something to eat quickly. For example, "We're in a hurry to get there, so we'll just grab a bite to eat at a fast food place." Roomie is an informal name for a person who shares a bedroom or home with you. For example, "How do you like your new roomie?"
Time for some pronunciation tips. Today we are looking at another way to help you speak English more fluently. In English, we often use contractions when we are speaking quickly. I am sure you have seen and heard many contractions in English. Here are some examples of contractions. I am is contracted as I'm. It is contracted as it's. And we are is contracted as we're. In the conversation, Larry says, "So, we're going to be roomies this semester." Did you hear the contraction? He says we're instead of we are. Now let's practice. Repeat after me. We're. Again. We're. One last time. We're. Now let's use it in a sentence. We're going to be roomies. Again. We're going to be roomies. And one more time. We're going to be roomies. That's all for now. Keep practicing your contractions and you will be speaking like a native speaker in no time.
Can and could are called modal verbs or helper verbs. They are used in many ways. But one way to use can and could is to talk about ability. Can is used to talk about present abilities, while could is used to talk about abilities in the past. Can and could are used in a sentence like this: subject plus can or could plus the infinitive of the verb or verb 1. If you say "I can speak French," it means you have the ability to speak French now. If you say "I could speak French when I was young," it means you had the ability to speak French when you were young, but maybe now you don't have the ability. To talk about ability, we can use be able to or be not able to instead of can or could and can't or couldn't. To use be able to in a sentence, follow this grammar. Subject plus the verb to be plus able to plus the infinitive, verb 1. The negative is formed by placing not between the verb to be and able. For example, instead of saying "I can retie," you can say "I am able to retie," or in the negative, "I'm not able to retie." When you talk about future abilities, you must use able to. In this case, not comes before the verb to be. For example, when I finish the English course, I will be able to speak like a native speaker. You can use can or could to talk about future plans. For example, "I can't help you tomorrow," and "I will not be able to help you tomorrow" are both acceptable.
Hi, you must be Adam. I can tell from your picture. I'm Larry. Finally we meet. So we're going to be roomies this year.
Yes, I recognize you from your photo too. I'm so glad to meet you in person. And I see from your shirt that you like baseball. I'm a big fan too.
Well, the shirt was a going away present from my brother. who's a baseball player. Look on the back. It has a picture of all the players on his team. They actually won the city championship last year.
That's awesome. I tell you, I'm not very athletic, but I love to watch baseball, even if it's a little league game. You could say I'm an expert spectator. What about you? Do you play any sport?
Yes, I play basketball. As a matter of fact, I have a scholarship, and I'm going to play for the university. Now tell me, what else do you like to do?
Well, what I like to do most is play music. I play guitar in a band.
Cool. We have a lot in common. I like music too. Think you'll be up for checking out the local clubs this weekend?
Oh yeah, and the restaurants too. Speaking of which, are you hungry? I'd love to grab a bite soon. I'm starving.
Are you kidding me? I'm always up for going out. How about trying the restaurant next to the university? I'm kind of hungry for some pasta.
What do you think of our room?
To be honest with you, I really can't stand that dark color on the walls. It's like really depressing. I prefer light colors. Plus, I'd like to change the mattress and the pillows. Do you like them?
No, I agree with you. They're horrible. With some new paint and a few small changes, we'll make this room comfortable and cozy. Everyone will want to hang out here.
Man, I'm so relieved. I think we're really going to get along. I'm going to call my dad right now and tell him how cool my new roomie is.
In today's lesson, we learned how to get acquainted with others. Keywords and phrases included roomies, grab a bite, and are you kidding me? We also learned some pronunciation tips. We learned how to use contractions and change I am to I'm, and we are to we're. Keep practicing your contractions and get out there and meet new people using English.